Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? I am coming to you during my lunch break today, and there was some things that came up over this last week during the holidays that had me thinking a lot about this topic, and so I thought I'd pop on here and talk about it a little bit. I also am planning on doing a blog post on it on my new website. Feel free to check out my new website. It's just my name, www.loganrangley.com, and I have a lot of stuff on there, content involving upcoming events. I'm going to be doing some blog posts, how you can get in touch with me if you're looking for individual therapy or family therapy, if you're looking to need a public speaker to come talk at your school or with your family or any event you have as well. So that is up there. Feel free to go check it out and let me know what you think. But a topic that I wanted to kind of discuss that I feel has been coming up a lot is self-love. It is really hard at times to focus on self-love or to feel love for ourselves when there are so many things that we like to pick apart and that we don't like about ourselves, whether it's our physical appearance or things that we do, behaviors that we have, intelligence. I mean, it can be anything, and it can start all the way down as young as, elementary school. I just gave a presentation on teens with anxiety, or actually elementary school, middle, and high school kids with anxiety and how to work with it. And some of this stuff can happen all the way down to 5 years old. And some of it starts with self-love or self-hatred. And it can impact us in a lot of different ways. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about how in here we handle and work with self-hatred, negative self-talk, and what we can kind of do to pull ourselves out of it. So the first thing that we often look at is, what are we saying to ourselves? What negative thoughts are we having? Usually they're automatic. We might not even realize we have them. They happen so frequently and so often, and they've happened for so much of our life that we don't even realize that we're thinking them. And so I'll often ask clients about, what it kind of hooks you. What sort of thoughts do you have? What kind of cognitive distortions do you have about yourself that you feel can kind of controls you and impacts the rest of your day or your mood? And so we kind of focus a little bit on what kind of self-talk and self-thoughts that we have. And we talk a little bit about, what would you do, or what would a family member say if you told your family members what you tell yourself? If you told your family members, you are stupid, you are ugly, you are not worth that, you are not good enough, you don't bring quality to this life, you deserve to be dead. What do you think your family members would say? Do you think that they'd jump up and be like, "You're right, awesome, thanks"? Or would they say, "That was really mean and hurtful"? What would they feel? How would their body experience those harsh words? Because I think so often we don't realize that our thoughts that we have impact our emotions, the way we carry ourselves, the hurt we feel in our heart, and then in connection to that, the way we behave. So if someone tells us we're stupid every single day, or we tell ourselves that we're not worth it, then our body's going to feel that. We're going to feel it, and we are going to respond accordingly. We are probably going to do things that make it worse. If we already think that we are ugly or unhealthy, and we use food as an unhealthy coping skill, we might eat more to try and make that pain go away. We might cry, we might avoid things, we might hurt other people so as not to hurt ourselves. There's a lot of different things that we can do that are super unhealthy for us. And we do that to ourselves. So the energy we put in to ourselves when we think negatively impacts it. Our body keeps score of that, and it pays attention, and it sends it back outward. And so when we aren't taking care of ourselves, and I don't mean just through eating healthy and exercising, but through our mental headspace as well, our body feels it, and we pay the price for it. And so something that we really focus on a lot is, how are these thoughts helpful? And if they're not helpful, what can we do to have different thoughts? Can we change those thoughts? Do we have to believe them? A thought is just a thought, and I've said this many times, but it's the power and the emotion and the behavior that we give that thought that makes it more powerful. And so if I had a thought that said, you know, you're not worth it, I could say, yeah, I'm not. You're right. I should just stay home and avoid all my things and cry and binge watch and eat ice cream and just remind myself over and over that I'm not worth it. Or I can say, you know what? No, that is just a thought, a distortion that has happened in my head for whatever reason. But I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to treat myself to something nice. I'm going to have a nice cup of coffee, and I'm going to own today. And I'm going to show the world that I deserve to be here and that I am worth it. And of course, this is a lot easier said than done. Some of these things have been years and years of negative self-talk. Sometimes it came from external things. Sometimes people told us we weren't worth it, told us that we weren't good enough, or that we were overweight, or that we weren't going to do well. The world is ugly sometimes and has told us these things, but we get to choose if we believe them. And I know it sounds easier than it is to practice it, but I've seen people do it every single day in my office, in my family, with my friends, that when we choose to put love forward, when we choose to love ourselves, we are putting energy towards that. Because when we are choosing to see the negative, it will follow. When our brain is looking for the negative will be there because we are looking for it. Just the same as if I told you, I want you in the next 3 days to tell me how many times you see a butterfly. You might not have previously been thinking about butterflies or hadn't seen one in a really long time, but the chances are, when you put your energy into it, when you have it on the forefront of your mind, when you're thinking about it, then you're going to start seeing it everywhere. So when you are thinking about all the negative things, or all the ways that the world is bad or going to crumble around you, or all the ways that you should be anxious and avoid things, you're going to see it and you're going to find it, and it will follow you. And so it's a practice, and you have to practice it every single day, but self-love deserves it. Loving yourself is worth it. And so I encourage you to instead spend today and the next day and the day after that finding everything around you that you have to be grateful for. Look at the ways that the world is showing up for you instead of against you, and find the ways that you come into the world and show beauty and show kindness and self-love, because that will radiate out, and the people around you will be better for it, and you will be better for it. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love, because you should love yourself, and you deserve to love yourself, and yourself deserves to be loved. This is a topic I'm very passionate about, so sorry if I went off on a little tangent there, but it is something that I talk about with my clients daily, and we all suffer from it. It is so hard to find self-love during times that our body has failed us, or things have been wrong or hard, but it's worth it, and our body deserves it, and our family deserves us to love ourselves. And so I encourage you to dig deep into yourself, pay attention to those negative thoughts. How are they benefiting you, if at all? And if they're not, then either change them, or ignore them, or find something else to focus on instead. And let me know how it goes. Comment below. Tell me, or you can message me privately too. You know, let me know a thought you used to have that you've replaced, and tell me how it's been going. We have a lot more control over our mind than we sometimes think we do. We have a lot more weight. We have a lot more control. And so when we use it to our advantage and we work with it instead of against it, it really can play out for us. So let me know how it goes, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thank you.